What is going on, guys? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today, we're going to be going through my bag and what I'm going to be throwing for the 2023 tournament season. So, let's get into it. First off, I'm going to be putting with the Exo Hard Lynx. I used to putt with P2s, and I still might. I'm going to try a P2 out today to see if I like it for outside the circle. But as of now, we're going to stay with the Lynx for every other putt. I had a tendency of pulling right inside of circles. So these putters, they have a little bead, so it doesn't feel like I'm going to pull it as much. And it's shown true so far. But love the Lynx. Next are my throwing putters. I have three. I have a Lordide Neolink. I'm in love with this. It's a headwind fighter. I can throw it flat, and it's just going to want to go, even in a headwind. So really, really like this disc. My next one is an Exo Soft Link. This one I can throw on a Mega Hyzer, and it's just going to pop up, get a little bit to the right, and just wants to come back. If I throw this flat, it's going to go to the right, and it's going to finish right. It's not going to come back at all. It's got to have some hyzer if it wants to come back. The next throwing putter is my K1 Berg. Now, I love this on forehands, backhands. I can absolutely rip on this and not have to worry about it going too far. I can probably max out probably 220, 230 with this. It goes nowhere, but it's one of my favorite approach discs. So, Zberg. My next one is the Saki Bomb Slammer. This is the first run. I am in love with this disc, and I don't know if it'll ever come out of my bag again. I can throw this thing flat, and it's just want to get to the ground and go way left. So love this disc for headwinds, and it's a great complement to my Leadstone Open. This is a glow zone from 2022. I love this on forehands, backhands. It was between this and the Harp, and I'm absolutely in love with how clean this comes off my hand for forehands. Super glidey. It's right in between of what I like with a zone, because normally the zones are super dumpy or they're a lot straighter than I like. And this one's right in the middle, and I absolutely love it. So, glow zone. My next set of discs are my mid-ranges. I carry 6 mid-ranges. So I'll go from the top of the stack, which is the most overstable, the most understable. I have a Prodigy 400 plastic MX1. I love this for forehands. I can stand still this disc really well. I can throw it about 240-ish with a standstill, maybe 250. But this thing is straight beef. I'm in love with this. Never going to come out of my bag. I used to throw Justices, and this is so much better. But MX1. My next disc is a Z Metallic Buzz OS from Leadstone 2022. This is the 2022 edition. I haven't thrown this on many forehands because I have the MX1, but on a backhand, this thing is straight money. I'm in love with this disc. So, great addition to the bag. I've been throwing it a lot lately because we've had a lot of wind, being early spring. So, been a great disc. Next is my Baby Yoda Buzz. This disc, I don't know the exact plastic, but I do know it is max weight, and this thing just looks pretty. So it's got to fly good too. I can throw this in a headwind on a slight hyzer, and it's just going to pop up to flat and go. No wind. I'm throwing it really flat, and it's just going dead straight for a while and then kind of tailing off at the end. But love this Buzz. Next is my Simon Lisato Simon Signature Series. It is a great disc. This is my main mid right now. It's getting a little bit beat in, so I'm throwing this on hyzers, popping it up to flat, and it just goes. It goes so far. The course that I mainly play is Sunkist Meadows in Fort Dodge, Iowa. And on hole number 2, it's 330-ish feet. And I put this thing on slight anhyzer, and it just pushes through and gets right under the basket every time. Great disc. Love it. Might need to get another one. Next is the Innovamade C-Line MD2. I found this at a Play It Again Sports, and it is just incredible. It's only a 4-speed, which kind of concerned me at first, but it flies just as far, if not farther, than some of my other mids. I don't know what it is, but this thing off the tee, if I just need something that I can kind of throw soft but still get distance, right there. My last mid-range is another Simon Lizotte disc. It is a Metal Flake C-Line MD1, the Mindbender. This thing is insane. I used to throw a lot of MD3s, but I just love how this feels. Super flat, really, really flippy. I throw this flat at all, it's going to want to go right. I hyzer flip this disc on a steep hyzer a lot. Pops up, still goes a little right. Great disc. I'm in love. I love this disc. My next are fairways. I carry 6 fairways, and all of these are like dead set except one of them, which I have an extra disc for that I'm going to try today. But starting with my PDs, I have 3 PDs. Starting with the most overstable is the C-Line PD. I have beat this thing up so much, and it's still overstable. I can throw this flat, and it's just going to straight dump. I don't understand it. It's got like this little like puddle top right there. I don't know if that's the thing making it more stable, but it is straight money, and I love it. Forehand, backhand, headwind buster. I love it. Next is my Lone Howl 3. This is a C-Line Metal Flake PD. It's like a little bit more understable. I shouldn't even say it's a lot straighter than the C-Line is, which kind of confused me at first, but I have learned to love it. It replaced my tie-dye Raptor that I lost in Oskaloosa just a couple weeks ago, and it's fit right in the bag. It is so good. Still learning it a little bit, but loving it for forehands and backhands. The next disc is the S-Line Special Blend PD. It's the Niklas Antila Nordic Phenom. And straight out of the box, I knew I loved this disc. It is super straight. I can trust it in any wind. I hyzer flip this a lot with minimal wind. And when it gets too windy, I just go up to the Lone Howl, and it does the exact same thing as this S-Line does. So it is perfect. I love it. Get yourself a Nordic Phenom. This section is where I'm kind of confused on what I want, because this Gateway prototype kind of flips as my PD does. So it's kind of crossing that line, but it's still a tick slower. So that's where I'm kind of confused on, do I want to have that tick slower of stability, or do I want to have a disc that does something different? So we're going to be testing this out today with this First Ready Vader. Now, this First Ready Vader is really, really straight when I threw it last. So I'm really excited to see how it flies today. I'm going to go play around with one of my buddies, and we'll see how she flies. But I'm in love with this disc. When I threw it, I just had another one that took its place. And, yeah, First Ready Vader's really, really, really nice. The next one is this Proton Volt. And I just aced with this not too long ago. And this disc I got from Corey Fausch. Shout out to him. I got it from DMC. And it's straight money. It's so stable from what I remember a Volt being. I can throw this flat. It's going to go straight and just have a consistent finish. Exactly what I need. And I'm so glad I have this disc in my bag. My final fairway is this Lone Star Discs Mockingbird. I found this disc in a used bin with no name. So it's actually a steal. I like all my stuff to be more max weight, but with this disc, it is 169 grams. I can throw this on a steep hyzer, let it pop up, and just ride right, but it's still going to have that finish. I feel like this is going to be really good when I get to play in like Big Creek, Walnut, here in the Des Moines area. I think it'd be really good in Ewing Park as well. Super excited to get to play in different tournaments at those courses so I can get this in play. I don't throw too much now, but you always need something understable just in case. So Mockingbird. That's the last of my fairways. Let's get into my distance drivers. I carry 8 distance drivers, and this is where my bag changes the most. We'll go from most overstable to least understable again. So to start off, I have a DGA Hypercane. I throw this a lot on forehands. If there's a busting headwind, occasional backhand, but not that often. I love the stamp on this. It is so pretty. Got it at Litem 1 Challenge last year, and I'm just in love with it. This is so good. Then I have a Gannon Burr 400 plastic D1, and this used to be the most overstable disc in my bag until the Oskaloosa tournament, where I threw it on hyzer to get around a tree, and it flipped up and went right. I didn't understand it, but I just needed something more stable, so that's when I added the Hypercane. This disc, still one of my bombers. It kind of overlaps with the next disc, but they both have special purposes because I primarily only throw this backhand. The next disc is my Cloudbreaker 3, and I'm not a big dome guy, but if you can hear, it's really pop-toppy. So I mainly throw this on forehands because I love the dome for forehands, but backhand, it's not really my thing. So I throw a lot of forehands with this disc. Great bomber. If I want some distance, this is the disc for it. So shout out Eagle McMahon. It's a great disc. The next one I have kind of goes into the next 3 discs because they kind of fly very, very similar. So this is a Discraft Force, and it has 10. It's so fun. I found it at a Play It Again Sports. I was going to buy a 6-claw Force, but I decided you got to go with this one because it's funny. You'll have a good laugh, and people will ask about it, and it'll be a good storyteller. Flies great. I was going to get an overstable Rive, but I found this disc, and I threw it a couple times and found out that it flies just like my overstable Rive did. So this fit right in with my 2 Rives that I've got. This turquoise one is it's my main driver. I pop this one up on a baby hyzer, pops up to flat, gets a little bit turn right, and just goes. I trust in this disc a lot. It is great. Absolutely in love with it. Rives are amazing, especially when they get beat in. The next disc is my super flippy Rive. So this one I'm throwing on a hard hyzer, and it's going to pop to flat and get over. Super flippy, I gave it to one of my buddy's girlfriends, actually, and it got too flippy for her because she's mainly a forehand player. So it got back to me. I told her I'd take it back whenever it got too flippy, and I'm so glad she used it because it is a bomber, an absolute bomber, especially in tailwinds. Now, speaking about tailwinds, it comes up to the last 2 discs that I have, which are my Defy and my Grace. Now, these 2 discs have the exact same numbers, but they fly completely different. This is a lightweight Defy, 167 gram, 169 grams, something like that. And this disc is so overstable. I never thought that a lightweight disc could be overstable because I have a decently fast arm speed, but this thing is overstable. I don't understand it, but I love it. I can put it on Annie in a tailwind, and it's just going to push. In love with it. Great forehand, backhand disc. Defies. And my last disc is a Kristin Tattar Orbital Grace. Now, this disc flies like a turn. End of a turn. I don't understand it. It is so understable, kind of like that Rive. But this one is mainly if I need a hyzer flip, but I need to stay in the fairway. If I want to turn something, put it on Annie, I'll go to that Defy. If I want to hyzer flip something in a tailwind, I go to the Grace. And I'm in love with this disc. It is so good, feels so good in the hand. And this is probably the only exception that I have with throwing something domey. It feels like there's a little thumb track here for me personally. So that's when this really thrives, is when I can throw hyzer flips with it in a tailwind. Some other things I've got in the bag. I've got a Bushnell rangefinder. Comes really handy. I've got a couple towels. I've got my bag tags. Always got to have a marker just in case someone aces. Let's see. I just put some in here, but I've got a Nutri-Grain bar. I usually have a couple in this pocket just so I can have a snack out on the course because you never want to lose energy out there when you're in a tournament round. And lastly, I keep a penny. I keep a penny in my bag as a good luck charm. So my great-grandfather always carried a Buckeye with him. And I took on the tradition of always having something in my pocket, or in this case, in my bag, because he always had it when he used to bowl before he passed. Before, like, he had a Buckeye in his pocket, and he carried it with him all the time when he bowled. So that's why I have this penny in my bag. It always sits at the bottom, right in the disc slot here. And yeah, I always will keep a lucky penny in there. Fun story about this penny. I found this penny and I had it in my pocket when I won my first tournament in Forest City at the Forest City Frenzy in rec. It was my first ever rec tournament and I won it. So that's how I knew this is my lucky penny. And I always have it in the bag. It never leaves. Absolutely in love with it. But yeah, lucky penny always stays in the bag. Gotta make sure it gets back. But yeah, that's my entire bag. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. I'm going to be revamping this channel. It's going to be mainly a lot of tournament updates and maybe a couple practice rounds, depending what I'm doing with my buddies. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be so much fun, and I am so excited. Shout out to my sponsors, Freak Disc Golf, Zone Sporting Goods, Ryan from Freak. Thank you so much. This is my second year with the team, and I'm super stoked to be a part of it. Zone Sporting Goods, Rob, thank you so much for bringing me on the team. This is my first year with them, and I will have a full video on the jerseys that I'll be wearing for the season, from the Freak Disc Golf ones to the Zone. Like, Zone made all the jerseys from my past 2 years, so it'll be really, really great to be able to wear all of those. Also, shout out to Hutchins Construction. Wayne, thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you know. But yeah, I'll have their Facebook pages link down below for Freak Disc Golf and Zone Sporting Goods. Also down below, I'll have my TikTok and my Instagram, so you guys can check that out. I really do appreciate all the support. Hopefully, this will just... I'm so excited for this next upcoming season. You guys have no idea. Thank you so much for sticking around and looking at what's in my bag and listening to me jibber jabber. But yeah, thank you guys so much. Remember, like, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you don't miss another video. And I will see you guys soon. Bye.